Hello and welcome back to Living Not Existing. As always, I'm Josh, and I'm back anyway. It's been a good couple of weeks now, just with one thing and another, but I'll get into that in a second. And as you can see, I'm in my van, and it's an allotment video. So, as you can probably tell, the van's back on the road finally! Get in! So, I'm massively happy about that. And, basically the story behind it, because obviously, as you've seen, there's not been more van videos going up showing it getting all put back together. And the reason for that is, basically, from the last video when I'd taken the cylinder head off and then checked and seen the head was all knackered, I then managed to get hold of another new cylinder head off of my mate Frankie. And so a massive thank you to my mate Frankie for that head. So I got that, and then... it's actually on an engine still, so I had to strip that engine down, get the head off, and then clean that head up. And luckily, that head was all fine. It was great. So that was that basically. And then what happened is basically in the past couple of weeks is there was Download Festival on. So me and Rachel's mum and brother were all away at Download Festival, which was absolutely crazy. Saw all sorts of bands and that. Just a list a mile long, too much to say really, but there was like Slash and Miles Kennedy, Slayer, Tool, The Beaches, loads, Slipknot, like just all sorts of loads of different like rocky, metally things, and that's just like some of the big ones that I can remember the names of. There was loads of other bands that we saw, smaller bands like up and coming that were brilliant. So I'll try and remember the names of them as the day goes on anyway. But yeah, so that was that. So we were there, and then straight away, like basically got back from that, and then I had like 2 days of work, and then we were straight off again. And me and my dad, and then Rachel and her mum and brother and friends and stuff like that, we were all away at Farmyard Party Bike Rally, a big motorbike rally. It was officially Europe's biggest bike-only rally, so they only let motorbikes in. I'm not sure if it is anymore, and well, it probably won't be anymore because they've started letting cars in. But, they've got a separate car park. Started doing that, but it was a really big rally. So we were away at that as well. So, hence why I haven't been here the past couple of weeks. But, during the period when I was away at the Download Festival, I got a phone call as we were on the way back from my dad. And he was just like, oh, can you call in, like, could I go call into his workshop for 5 minutes? So, and I was like, well, we all want to get home, but yeah, we can call in. So, called in. And then there was this tarpaulin over the front of my van. And I was thinking, why is there a tarpaulin over the front of my van? Like, I mean, there's been a lot of rain, so I just thought he would have done it from that. But I was thinking, because he was only saying a few days beforehand about how there should be a tarp over it. And then, so he goes on, and he goes, oh, Frankie was driving my tractor, the one that you saw a few episodes back, was driving my tractor around, and he crashed into the front of your van. So, of course, instantly I was panicking. To which then the pair of them then pull the tarpaulin off, and my van's all back together. And what they'd done is, while I'd been away, they'd put my van back together for me, which was obviously brilliant. Got my van back together, but obviously none of you have been able to see the build now. But basically, it's the reverse of taking it apart, pretty much to an sort of. But yeah, so it's all working great now and everything like that. So the next thing with the van is to start doing back here, basically start converting it, doing stuff like that, and making it all my own thing. But as for today, with it being an allotment video, is getting cracked on with doing stuff with the allotment. So and obviously in the past couple of weeks there's been a lot of rain and it's been quite warm, and well, at times it's been quite warm. Like today, it's absolutely sweltering. It's ridiculously hot. So yeah, you can't escape it. The shade is hot. Everything is hot. It's stupid hot. But I'll tell you the temperature of the greenhouse when I go and have a look at the thermometer in a minute. But I don't know if you saw on the Instagram post. I think it went onto Facebook as well, but I'm not sure. And but yeah, but I don't know if you saw on there the floods that happened just before I went away to the Download Festival, or Drownload as people called it, because that was that flooded as well. And but yeah, it was basically what happened is the entire allotment plot got flooded. Well, pretty much the entire. And then my neighbour Gary, basically his entire plot was flooded. And So the entire area that Ruth had dug over before, that was completely underwater. Like, you know, it was above your ankles underwater. It was proper underwater. And then there was a bit the same sort of near the gate, that was quite underwater. And then the greenhouse area, and I was having to put like planks across in places. Luckily, I've got that pallet wood kicking about, so I had to put the planks and stuff across everywhere to try and like walk across to do things when I came down. And well, fortunately, I got a bit of bad news to break as well on the side of things with the floods and all the massive heavy rain that was happening. So came down here with the floods just to come and check on things, and then remember Hopper, the little chicken with the limpy leg. She was just sat outside under the little apple tree in the chicken pen area, and the rooster would come running up to me to get my attention and squawking at me. So I instantly went over and had a look when I first got down here, and then because this is after work, so like later on, so it was probably about 6-7 o'clock or something, and they're normally in bed by that point. And Hopper was just sat there under the thing, and she was absolutely soaked through from the torrential rain. And she basically looked like she had no feathers because she was that drenched, and they were all that drenched. And so not very good, so I had to get across and go, and I actually picked her up. And normally my chickens don't really let you pick them up if you ever like try and go near them like that. And she was more than happy to. Obviously she just is in distress. She needed to be like saved from like having to try and cross a river basically to get to a coop, is what she'd managed to do. For some reason she went in that place. And yeah, so anyway I picked her up and got her back into the coop, give her a little bit of a dry off and that, and put her back into the coop, and give her some food and everything like that, as well as the other chickens, obviously some food and that, and they were all fine. They were all in there. For some reason she decided she didn't want to be, so did that. And then my dad actually was looking after the plot for me over the weekend when we were away, and typically something like that happened with one of my chickens as I was going away. So thankfully my dad was looking after things. And basically what happened is he was phoning me during the time as well when I was away, checking to let me know things. And basically she just kept doing it. She kept staying out in the rain for some annoying stupid reason. I don't know why she was doing it, but she just wanted to be out in the rain. And so he had to yet again keep doing the same thing, going and picking her up, putting her back in the coop and feeding her a bit. And basically just on the, I think it was on the Saturday of the download thing, he done all that, and then I came back. No, sorry, it would have been the Sunday. So I came back then the following day on the Monday, and then checked in my coop because she wasn't out or anything. They were all in bed because it was later on. So I looked in there, and then there she was face down, unfortunately, and she'd passed away. So unfortunately, now got no little Hopper. So she's died. She must have just got a cold or something, or got cold and stuff, and she was trying to hide amongst the undergrowth, apparently, my dad was saying when he kept finding her. So I think she sort of knew her time was coming or something as well, and obviously wanted to get out of the way, similar to like a cat, I presume. So but yeah, so unfortunately she's gone. So I've now only got the 2 hens and the 1 cock now, but all good barring that basically. Well, nearly all good. Another thing with the actual allotment plot on the veggie side of things is all the cauliflowers, the red cabbage and the sprouts. Don't know what on earth the infestation is, but at first I thought it was slugs and snails, so obviously I put those pellets down that I got, and that did nothing. I then treated it with that, like the spray, for getting rid of all sorts of stuff like black fly, white fly, caterpillars, absolutely anything you can think of, it gets rid of it. I've done them with that a couple of times. Still hasn't really made a difference. And then I just got something mentioned to me the other day by my mate Jess, because he's having a similar problem but not quite as bad as mine, and because he actually saw it happening, because he has a little growing thing out the back of his house, and pigeons, and of course trees either side, and other allotment holders have pigeons. I reckon it could be the pigeons coming down and eating all my plants. So I'm going to get them all netted up hopefully today, all being well. And so yeah, so I need to get that sorted, and then fingers crossed they'll all be growing back through plenty more again, because it's getting all the little leaves in the middle of where the big leaves have been eaten. The little leaves are now coming through, so fingers crossed it'll then start to flourish again with all my plants. But I'll have to see what happens. But yeah, so that's that on the plant side of things like that. But yeah, there's also a couple of more things, but instead of me sat in here talking and telling you all about it, I might as well jump out straight away and show you what's been going on. Right, so we're now on the allotment plot, as you can see, and so first of all I'll show you what I was on about with the plants that have just been eaten to death. So down here is the cauliflowers, so this is just one of them for example, and they're all the same. They've all been absolutely eaten to death, but there is the little leaves starting to come through from the middle again. So basically, as I was saying, need to get the nets put over this, as well as obviously get a load of all of these weeds and that all pulled out. And you can also see how the red cabbage has been started to get eaten, and then if you can see it over here, you can sort of see how some of the sprouts have also been eaten away at as well. So yeah, so all of that's just been eaten to death, so that all needs covering over with nets and everything. But as far as everything else goes, it's growing great. And Archie's down here, as you can hear. But yeah, so the sweet corn is brilliant back there, as you can see. As well as the herb garden over there, that's going great. Everything's getting really big, as you can see. I mean, there's weeds amongst it, but the actual good stuff is all growing great as well. And then, as well as all the cucumbers and courgettes, and the courgettes have actually, well, you see on that one there, there's some flowers still yet to open up, but then a few of them here, as you can see, in fact, here you go, here's a good one to show you round here. We've actually got some courgettes growing up on them as well, so they're all going good now. But yeah, so the plan of action today of what to do is, obviously with just the negligence of the plot really, obviously like I said, wet weather and heat is the perfect weather for things to grow, but of course this plot's covered in weeds, so all the weeds are growing really well. So basically you need to get tackling that again, same as before, just because of the negligence of the plot in the past couple of weeks. So Rachel's going to make a start on getting all the weeds pulled out of the beds and stuff like that. And meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these tomatoes planted out and out here, because the tomatoes not liking being in those pots anymore, and it's too much for them in the greenhouse. They need to get growing bigger and better and stuff like that, and they're getting a bit sort of like trapped and not being able to like spread out and grow and stuff. So I'm going to get all that sorted out today is the plan. So yeah, might as well jump straight in. I'm going to carry on with that while Rachel makes a start on weeding the beds. So we'll do that and we'll show you how we're getting on. Right, so we've now been cracking on with things, and as you can see down here, Rachel's been hard at work. It's making a start on getting the weeding done. So and then I've been over here, so you're just doing a couple of little bits of the weed and that, but I haven't really got much done as of yet, because we've only really just made a start. But as you can see, neither me or Rachel are behind the camera right now, and that's just because we've got a couple of friends that have come down to help out today, just suddenly nipped down. So I'll introduce you now. So basically who we've got here is we've got my friend Bex.
Hi.
And well, while we're on Bex straight away, I might as well tell you, she's actually just started a new YouTube channel, and it's called, what is it again?
The Bubbly Bee.
The Bubbly Bee, so there you go. And a link for that will all be on the description down below. So I'll give that a check out. She's all starting up fresh, and it's all really interesting stuff that you'll all really like. So I'd recommend having a look at that. And then we've also got here, we've got Ashley. So they've both come down to help out, and they're going to be jumping on the weeding with Rachel and trying to get this monstrosity sorted out basically. And the third person, which is who's behind the camera, a little bit camera shy, and that's my mate Luke. And
hello.
So because I've got Luke here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off doing that area for now, and because I've finally got some extra hands, make a start on getting the big shed up. So that's the idea. So basically what we're going to do now is we're just going to crack on while Archie's playing away. So we're just going to crack on getting stuff done, and then once we've got a bit done, we'll show you how it's coming on. Right, so we've now got quite a lot of progress made, and just sort of been busy full on trying to get things sorted out. As well, Luke, Bex and Ashley have all gone now after helping out with things and that, so a massive thank you to them for helping out with everything, and see, managing to get the shed up as well, which is brilliant. We had Bex's assistance on that, as well as obviously me and Luke getting a good chunk of that all done. Well, meanwhile, Ashley was helping with the weeding with Rachel, and then Bex also did a load of weeding with Rachel as well. So as far as the weeding's gone, done good progress on getting all of this area sorted out, but there's still a couple of little bits and bobs of weeds within all of this, as you can see. And the reason that bit got stopped on is, one, it was dying in the heat, and two, well, you know those big giant garden spidery things, one of them ran in, so they were like, "Ah!" and ran off away from it basically. So so they ended up calling it quits on that bed, but then doing a couple of picky bits of getting some big bits out of other ones, but then also made a start on just getting some more done around these spring onions again, because it was lovely and shaded over here, and it was bearable to do stuff, because as I say, the sun beating down on us today has been stupid. But then as far as the shed goes, obviously you can see it's up, and you can get a bit of an idea of the size of it now, and it's massive. Like, I forgot how big it was considering how long ago I got it, because that base like sort of fakes how big it is really. Can't really tell. So but yeah, so that's that. But I'll quickly show you inside, because what we've done at the moment is we've just basically put things together a bit so that it can what do you call it, so it just sort of doesn't fall apart and the wind doesn't blow it over today. So inside I'll show you what it's like, the size and all that. Yeah, so you can now see in here the sort of size that it is. It is a fair old size in here, and what we've done is we've just sort of put these roof joists across just to stop the sides from collapsing in, and then and just sort of roughly bolted it together a little bit just to kind of hold its shape. And so what we're going to do now is, because I've actually got another gig to play tonight, and so I've got to dash off shortly to go and get all that sort of, get all my drum kit put into me van and all that sort of stuff, and get ready for going and doing that. So what we're going to do now is Rachel's just going to carry on trying to get a couple more weeds pulled out, while I'm going to carry on putting a few more screws in just to try and get this a bit tighter together so it doesn't fall over overnight or something like that, and tie it down a little bit. And then if we get any more progress done, I'll show you that, but if not, I'll see you back in the van. Right, well, it's come to that time of day again, time to round things up and say goodbye. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing everything get done, and obviously getting introduced to all the new people as well and everything. And a massive thank you to Luke, Bex and Ashley for coming down and giving a hand with things, and obviously getting that progress on the shed, finally getting a bit more of the shed up, the grand shed up. And I'm so happy about that. Like, it's going to be brilliant, and like seeing it all up on that frame is brilliant to see it together, because as I was saying about the size of it, I forgot how big it was, to be honest, with having it just laid out and stuff. Even though there was the base made up, like knowing that it was a fair size, I couldn't fully, like picture the size of what it would be like inside again, because I forgot with it being so long ago that I got it. And yeah, just brilliant. I'm really like properly looking forward to it. I can like envisage it all now, what's going to happen inside and everything, like properly see how it will all work and things like that. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. Hopefully even next weekend, if all being well, if I can manage to get an extra pair of hands again to do the rest of getting it all put back together. Well, sorry, getting the rest of it put back together, should I say. And getting all the roof on and stuff like that, and getting it all as a proper sound structural thing and everything like that. And then once that's all together, what I'm going to start doing is putting boards down on the inside so that it's all got a proper flooring and stuff like that. Because I needed to get it up sooner rather than later now, because of those new bits and bobs that I was showing you before, the seats and things. I think quite a few weeks back now that I got. They're just under a plastic sheet at the moment, and with getting rain and stuff like that, they're going to end up getting damaged, which obviously I don't want, because I want to have them as nice seating inside of that shed. So yeah, basically need to get the progress done sooner rather than later. And then of course Rachel and Bex and Ashley all getting the weeding done on the beds and that. Brilliant, getting a bit more progress on that, because of course that's all going crazy. And obviously the more weeds in the bed, the worse off the actual crops that I want out of them they're going to be, because of course the weeds are going to suck the nutrients out as well, as I've seen in the past done with things. So yeah, but that's it for today really. So I hope you all really enjoyed watching and everything, Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell button, check out the Facebook and Instagram links down below, and also check out Bex's YouTube channel link down below, and I'll also stick her Instagram link as well down below as well, because she posts stuff up on there as well. So, yeah, so until next time, I'm Josh, been living not existing, bye.